it started in the most unexpected way. A young woman thought she had found someone special online, someone who seemed to understand her better than anyone else in her life. Their conversations felt real, full of warmth, and gave her comfort on days when she felt most alone. This secret online profile became her escape, her safe corner of the internet. What she did not know was that behind the profile was not a stranger at all, but her best friend, the very person she trusted most in the world. Her best friend created this hidden identity carefully, using fake pictures and made up details to appear charming and trustworthy. Every word was chosen to pull her deeper into the trap. At first, the young woman felt excitement, like she was finally being seen for who she truly was. She believed she was building a deep connection, but it was all an illusion. What seemed like love was actually deception, and the cruel part was that it came from the one person she would never suspect. This secret online profile was not about romance. It was the beginning of betrayal, a betrayal that would end in tragedy. A friendship built on lies. They had known each other for years, sharing secrets, laughter, and the kind of bond that only close friends understand. To everyone around them, their friendship looked unbreakable, but beneath the surface, something darker was forming. While one saw the other as a sister, a safe place to lean on, the best friend was quietly weaving a web of lies. She hid her true intentions behind smiles and comforting words, while secretly feeding the fake profile with sweet messages that kept the victim hooked. The young woman never questioned her friend's loyalty. She believed her support was real, not realizing that the same person cheering her up in real life was also the one breaking her down online. The fake lover and the best friend were one and the same, two faces of betrayal playing out in perfect sync. Each lie drew her deeper into a false relationship while strengthening her trust in the friend she thought she knew. What made it so cruel was that the young woman felt safe in her company, never seeing the mask her friend wore. Their friendship was no longer real. It had become a stage built entirely on lies. And soon, those lies would prove deadly. The fake lover appears. The online romance grew stronger with every passing day. Sweet words, late night chats, and promises of a future together made her believe she had finally found true love. The fake lover seemed perfect, always knowing the right thing to say, always available to comfort her when life felt heavy. She trusted him completely, never doubting that he was who he claimed to be. His attention filled the empty spaces in her heart, making her think she had found someone who truly cared. But behind the screen, it was not a kind stranger. It was her best friend, carefully crafting every detail to keep the illusion alive. The fake lover became more than just a profile. He became a lifeline, a person she thought she could not live without. Whenever doubt crossed her mind, the friend in real life was there to erase it, assuring her that love online could be just as real as love face to face. She did not see that both identities were one. The friend she trusted and the lover she adored were the same person, playing a cruel game with her emotions. The arrival of this fake lover was not a blessing. It was the final step in a dangerous plan that would soon spiral out of control. Signs she ignored from the very beginning. There were signs that something was not right. Sometimes the fake lover's stories did not match up. Small details slipped through the cracks, and certain moments felt too perfect to be true. Friends around her tried to warn her, telling her to be careful, but she believed in the connection too deeply to let doubt take hold. Each red flag was brushed aside with hope, because hope was easier than facing the truth. There were times when the fake lover avoided video calls or gave excuses for not meeting in person. Still, she convinced herself that love could wait, that patience would one day bring them together. The more she ignored these warnings, the stronger the trap became. And standing closest to her, offering advice and pretending to care, was her best friend, the very person responsible for creating the lies. The greatest sign of all was the one she never noticed. Her best friend always seemed to know too much, always appeared at the right moment, always ready to say the words she wanted to hear. Yet she never connected the two, because trust blinded her. She wanted to believe in love, and in doing so, she ignored the truth that could have saved her life. Truth slowly uncovered, the cracks in the story grew harder to hide. Messages from the fake lover started to sound strangely familiar, almost as if she had heard those same words before from someone else. Doubts crept into her mind late at night, when the promises no longer felt as secure as they once did. She tried to silence her suspicions, but her heart could not ignore the strange connection between her online romance and her best friend's behavior. At first, she told herself it was impossible. How could the person she loved and the friend she trusted be the same? But small mistakes gave it away. A phrase her best friend used in real life appeared in a message from her online lover. A story told over coffee matched one shared in a late-night chat. Slowly, piece by piece, the truth began to show itself. Her heart battled against her mind, one desperate to believe in love, the other screaming that she had been deceived. The realization was painful, heavier than anything she had ever faced. Betrayal was no longer a shadow in her thoughts. It was becoming real, and it was coming from the last place she ever expected. The truth was no longer far away. It was already at her door. Betrayal by a friend. When the truth could no longer be hidden, the weight of betrayal came crashing down. The person she trusted more than anyone, the one she called her best friend, was the same person who had been lying to her all along. Every message, every moment of comfort, every word of love was a trick. The face of a caring friend in real life was the mask that hid the cruel catfish online. It was not just a lie. It was a calculated act of deception that cut deeper than any stranger's betrayal ever could. She replayed every memory in her mind, realizing that their friendship had been poisoned from the start. The laughter, the secrets, the shared dreams, they were no longer pure. They had been used against her, turned into weapons to trap her in an illusion of love. What made it unbearable was not only losing the fake lover, but also losing the friend she thought was her safe place. The betrayal left her shattered. She could not understand how someone who claimed to love her, like family, could also be the reason for her heartbreak. In that moment, the lines between friendship and cruelty blurred completely, and her world began to collapse. The deadly outcome, the betrayal, was more than her heart could carry. The lies that once felt like love now crushed her with unbearable weight. She had given her trust, her emotions, and her future to someone who never existed. What hurt most was knowing that it was all designed by the very person she once called her best friend. The pain grew so heavy that escape felt impossible. Every word from the fake lover, every smile from her friend, now cut her like a knife. The walls closed in, and her world turned dark. She could not find a way back to the life she had before. The illusion of love had left her broken, and the betrayal left her empty. Her best friend's actions did not just end their friendship, they ended her chance at healing. The spiral of lies reached its darkest point, and tragedy followed. The young woman, who had once been full of dreams and hope, lost her life because of a cruel game. The deadly outcome was not an accident. It was the final result of lies, betrayal, and manipulation. A story that began with trust and friendship ended in silence, leaving behind grief, anger, and questions that could never truly be answered. Lessons from the tragedy. This story is more than just heartbreak. It is a warning. It shows how easily trust can be twisted, and how the people closest to us can sometimes cause the deepest wounds. The young woman believed in love and believed in friendship, but both were turned against her. The lesson is clear: online connections must be handled with care, and even those we think we know best may hide secrets we cannot imagine. Catfishing is not only about lies on a screen, it is about control, manipulation, and the destruction of trust. This tragedy reminds us to look closely at the signs we often ignore: mixed stories, excuses to avoid meeting, or patterns that feel too familiar. Most of all, it teaches us to value our safety over blind hope. The pain of this betrayal cannot be undone, but the story can prevent others from falling into the same trap. It asks us to question, to protect ourselves, and to never give away trust without proof. The lesson from her life is harsh but powerful. Not every smile is honest, not every friend is true, and not every love story ends the way we dream it will.